We've been sent this question by one of our subscribers. I'm a first-time buyer looking to buy a buy-to-let as my first property purchase. Is this possible?
In this video, we're going to look at first-time buyers, first-time landlords.
More the younger generation are living with family a lot longer and moving out of the family home a lot later on in life. However, they still have ambitions to purchase a property. Lenders recognise this, and over the last few years have released a lot more products aimed at first-time buyers and first-time landlords.
So there are a number of things that lenders look at when assessing a first-time landlord, first-time buyer application.
Now, one of the things is income. Although typical buy-to-let applications are set around the rental income the property generates, first-time buyer, first-time landlord's application will require the applicant to have a minimum level of income and actually assess like a residential application. The reason for that is that's to make sure that the applicant actually is going to be renting out the property and not just buying the property for them to live in. For that reason, the lender would require the applicant to have a minimum level of income. Typically speaking, that could be anywhere between £20,000 to £25,000 per annum. And then the lender will look at the affordability model to ensure that mortgage is affordable if there were any rental avoids. So you could say it's assessed like a residential application.
So the next thing that the lender's looking at is the deposit.
Depending on market conditions, typically speaking, when you are purchasing a buy-to-let property, you can normally get away with a 15% deposit, sometimes 20% deposit. However, the lender would actually require you to put down a 25% deposit towards the purchase. As a first-time buyer, first-time landlord, your lending options actually will be limited because not all lenders participate in that space. What you may expect is a higher rate of interest for this sort of application.
So the next thing that the lender's looking at is there any bad credit in the background?
Don't let your previous bad credit stop you from getting a mortgage. The good news is there are lenders available that will take an element of adverse credit on your profile within the last 6 years. It's important once again to review your credit profile. However, there is potential lending options available to you. It's important to review your credit profile. We would recommend getting a copy of your checkmark file credit report and seeing what adverse credit is on there.
So if I am a first-time buyer, first-time landlord, can I buy the property through a limited company?
Absolutely, yes you can. It won't improve your chances of getting a mortgage. Each application will still be assessed like you were buying under personal names. So for example, a residential application. However, it is possible.
So as a first-time buyer, first-time landlord, am I able to let that property out to students?
The good news is products have become available over the last few years. Typically speaking, you will potentially need to pay a higher level of interest. And also another consideration is you may need to put down a bit more of a deposit. But the answer to your question is it could be possible.
So it is possible for a first-time buyer to be a first-time landlord. As you can see, there are a few things that you need to cover off with the lender first, but it is absolutely possible.
Please check out our other video on how to get a mortgage through a limited company.